What's your day like? I mean, you've been overworked, I think.
Well, it's great to see so much optimism, despite how the market has been behaving in the past few weeks and months. You still, when you're surrounded by so many entrepreneurs and people trying to build a new ecosystem, it lifts up your energies, even if you're a little bit sick like I am right now.
Yeah.
And for the people at home, don't worry if you can't hear me. We'll provide a transcript later on. It'll be okay.
Cool, man. I mean, you've been flying around the world. I met you the last time on a rooftop launch party with Liquid platform.
Yeah.
And I thought that was brilliant, like how you guys actually evolved from Quoine. You had, really a lot of milestones that you met. And despite this industry where everyone is, calling for bloodbath, right? You guys have stuck true to your core beliefs. And I'm glad that you guys are growing even stronger as we are moving on with times. And one of the things I want to talk about is one of the things that Liquid platform is supposed to do or wants to do is to support the ecosystem, support new projects, provide liquidity for people as well.
Yeah.
But yet at the same time, on the other end of the spectrum, we have like tons of projects out there who arguably some may say don't deserve the support, right?
That's right.
How you're in a position where you now have to make a decision on which to support, which not to support, and it's not going to be an easy task. What is your life like?
So there's still a lot of projects out there that are looking to raise capital. We have refined our process to really even further elevate the standards that we require for a project to start listing on Liquid or to start the ICO on our platform. And so one of the things that we've really it's a new approach that we've added to our criteria process is looking at things like token economics. And it's also the class of investors or the class of projects that we're looking at. So the modality in, say, 2016, 17 was a couple of people with a white paper raising money on a great idea, start to build. Now we're doing what I would call the reverse, which is it's an existing business, it has customers, it has a product, and they're trying to introduce blockchain into that ecosystem. And those are the types of projects that we're seeing that there's a lot of interest, where there's a really solid team behind the project, and we think there's a better chance of success.
Trying to support fiat into crypto is an impossible task. It's difficult, right? But what is the real work behind the scenes?
It's a great question. The answer to that is, where do we come from? We come from a compliance approach. So number one, because we do KYC, we have AML policies, the financial institutions that we work with that enable the credit card funding are more comfortable working with a place like Liquid and Quoine. Our licensing, our banking relationships, they all lay the groundwork for a layer of trust that's important to establish this new sort of on-ramp.
So effectively what I'm hearing is it's not that the regulators or the traditional businesses are against crypto, it's just about how it's done. If you can protect the people, you can show actually due diligence, some work related to protecting people and doing something right, I think in that sense, any business in their right mind would want to connect with you. So on the other end of the spectrum, we are seeing every other day there's a new exchange being launched in the market today.
Right.
Like you come from an area where you are regulated. You go through the hurdles, the hoops, you get your paperwork done, and you have your Visa, MasterCard. Happy to work with you. But on the other end, you get all these guys coming up. I'm sure they're not exactly direct competitors, but they are competitors in a way that they hurt the industry that you're trying to serve.
Listen, first of all, competition is a good thing. I don't want to discourage anyone, but running an exchange is a really big job. We have well over 300 people working on Liquid today, more than half are engineers. And that's a type of investment that's required to really serve developing crypto markets. I think there's somewhat of a misperception that it's so easy to do. It's not. The licensing by itself is a big challenge that a lot of people don't necessarily appreciate. But I think this is a natural progression over time. And I don't want to discourage anyone for trying a new field, and hopefully we can learn from the new emerging players, and hopefully we'll learn from them, and we'll improve our offering and our level of client service at the same time.
So you are a speaker on today's panel at Blockshow Asia. What were you talking about? What's your topic?
So it was really about the development of crypto, and is Japan a crypto-friendly place? And there's no single answer for that. So clearly Japan stands out around the world for being the first country at the national level to implement a licensing regime for cryptocurrency exchanges. On the other hand, some of that great progress that we saw in 2016 and 17 has really been slowed down because of some of the things that have happened in this year. Number one, you saw some hacks.
Yeah.
Coincheck got hacked for 560 million, depends who you talk to. In September, when we last met here in Singapore, while we were here, our colleagues at Zyfe got hacked. So these are real black marks for the industry. And so the Japan regulators have decided to adopt an approach that's worked in other markets, in other asset classes, by encouraging exchanges to develop a self-regulatory organization, an SRO. And so we formed one of these in Japan, and the SRO is really going to be responsible for setting out policies, best practices, self-governance, and it really will, in my view, fast-track the development of blockchain-based finance in Japan.
So you guys are leaders of that. You're trailblazing that approach.
Absolutely, but we're sitting at the table. And so one of the strengths of Quoine is that many of the people from our management team come from finance. I myself was 20 years in investment banking, our CTO, on and on and on. So this gives us the right framework to start discussions with regulators about not only how things are, but how they should be.
A last question that we have then would be, tell us about the roadmap for Quoine and Liquid. Like, I know you guys are rolling a lot of things out. You guys are very active, very aggressive in the market now. But at the same time, a lot of this information is not being given out to the public, right? Perhaps the only people who might know about it is your own Liquid community. Now, we want to help you announce it to the rest of the guys out there to get excited, just as I am excited about you.
Sure.
Share this information with the world, bro.
Sure. So we're doing a lot of different things. We're looking at things from both the retail perspective as well as the institutions. But let's talk about the entire exchange infrastructure. One of the most important things that we're doing that will be starting again in December is we're going to start to enable fast crypto withdrawals. So as many people know, we've been a cold wallet shop 100%. So what that means is we've never been hacked, and we have very strong protections for clients. However, we recognize that there are some people that want faster, more on-demand service levels for crypto withdrawals, and we're going to be enabling that from December. We are using groundbreaking technology that no one else in the crypto exchange world is using today, but it's battle-tested technology. It's already been used in the financial services sector among the largest banks in the world, and we're incredibly excited by this technology. We think we're going to be able to process crypto withdrawals in a matter of seconds without any compromise for security. So that's coming very soon in December. If I think about what we're doing on the institutional side, we're starting to develop two main business lines. One is merchant services. So as you see that more and more merchants around the world are accepting crypto as a payment mechanism, they still need a requirement to be able to convert these crypto that they're receiving and convert it into fiat. And we're starting to partner with point of sale systems and e-commerce providers around the world to become the exchange liquidity provider of choice, so they can take their crypto, and the merchants ultimately they want to hold fiat, and we're providing those conversion services. And secondly, on the business side, we're starting to develop our custody solution. Really, the question is, how do we increase the adoption of crypto amongst the mainstream? And what you really need to see happen is more institutions participate in the market. And for institutions, they need a custody solution for crypto assets that looks familiar from their experience dealing with stocks or bonds or other securities. So we're now developing our custody solution, and we expect to start offering that in Q1 of next year.
That's all very fast. That's all very fast. Like you mentioned, oh, December, you're going to do this, January, you're going to do this. It's not like, oh, 6 months, next quarter, fourth quarter. It's already done in the works. And I think what people may not realize how important this is, this at least for the speed of transaction, is traditionally you can either have speed or security, right? And most people choose speed over security because unless you're going to get hacked and lose your money, you're going to take it for granted. And Liquid, or Quoine in this case, has always been security first before anything else, right? And they put it in a core wallet. What that means is it's not online. You don't get to be, or rather the ability to be hacked is a lot lesser because it's really off the grid, right? And because it's off the grid, if you want to take your money out, I got to go downstairs to the basement with a key, take out the money and walk back up.
That's right.
But now you're telling me with a state-of-the-art play that you have, technology, you are allowing that kind of security level with the speed of transaction that's down to a few seconds.
That's absolutely right. That's absolutely right.
You guys have no idea how important that is. Like you make it sound like, oh yeah, I know, by the way. But I think this is a game changer because you get both security and speed. And the next thing that you talk about, which I just want to reiterate, is you are looking at an enterprise level where shops, merchants out there are able to accept crypto without realizing they're accepting crypto because through your Quoine platform, they're going to get paid just as usual.
That's right.
It's almost like how when Visa or MasterCard came back then, right?
That's right.
You get your plastic, you swipe, you get the stuff you want, you're a winner. To the merchant, they get paid, they're a winner.
That's
right.
But
behind the scenes, that's where all the banking mechanisms start to happen.
That's right.
And now you're doing this on a decentralized cryptocurrency fashion.
That's right.
I don't know how you can talk about this with a straight face. Is this like something that's been going through your mind in the last few months and now you're jaded about it? Because I'm excited for you.
We are excited. Well, that's what I mentioned. We have a lot of engineers. We have some great project managers. And this is the kind of talent pool that's required to develop these sorts of innovations.
Will we one day have a chance to see a Quoine credit card? It seems like that's the next progression, right?
It's definitely something part of our consumer roadmap that we're looking at for 2019.
Okay.
I can't really assign a date to it just yet, but it's definitely something we're thinking about. Okay.
This is the other thing I love about you guys. When you made a promise, you have an exact date and a target to meet. And when you don't, you're not even telling the dates at all. But I'm glad it's in the roadmap because I want to be one of the first few to receive the card, man.
Let me know your address. It'll be there.
Thank you, Seth. Is there anything you want to say to your fans, to the community at large in general? You got 30 seconds to give a shout out. Anything at all?
What I want to say is the following. The current markets are very challenging for everybody. But this is also a time for people to really ask the question, why are they in this space? Why are they thinking about these assets? I read a quote from Warren Buffett recently. He said, if you're not comfortable for holding this asset for 10 years, don't hold it for 10 minutes. And this advice is applicable not only for stocks and bonds, but also for crypto assets. As an exchange, we're using this market pullback as an opportunity to build and strengthen our exchange, improve areas where we've gotten feedback that need improvement, and to start doing some innovation to really think about not just where we're at, but where is the market going? Where is the world going with blockchain? And so we believe that this pullback in some ways will be very healthy for the industry. You'll see sort of some of the less well thought through projects, exchanges, advisors, a lot of this stuff sort of fade away, and you'll be left with an ecosystem of sort of better capitalized, stronger players in the end. So I would just give everyone the parting advice to stay strong, and that this underlying technology is real and it is going to transform our lives in many ways.
Thank you, Seth, for coming on our show.
Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is Seth for you from Quoine, giving you the inside look at what they are doing, what's rolling out. And if you guys are not excited yet, go and check out the link below or watch our previous review video on the Liquid platform. And I'll show you guys, this one is the real deal. Look out for them.